Hi, I'm Lisa Sabaniak from Life Like You Mean It, and today we're going to talk about the winter solstice. So, this video will be in two parts. First, we're going to talk about what is the winter solstice, what is it that we're really celebrating, when does it fall, all of that kind of goodness. And second, we are going to talk about ways that you can celebrate the winter solstice. So, let's get started. So, in part one, what is the winter solstice, right? What is it that we're actually celebrating? Solstice is traditionally a pagan holiday, and it lands this year in 2022 on December 21st. It doesn't always have the same day. And it is essentially on our calendar is the first day of winter. And so, what this really represents, and what it has represented for so long for pagans, is the both the death and the rebirth of the sun. So essentially, this is the shortest day out of the year. And this is a time when pagans are collectively coming together to celebrate the fact that we are having our shortest day. And that means the next day, the sun is going to start on its return, which, of course, when we go back to more early humans, we would be obviously so entrenched in the cycles of the sun so that we would know when to plant, right? When to be able to harvest, etc. And so winter is obviously a time where in most places around the world, things are not growing. And so the winter solstice marks that point where our darkness is going to start to fade and we're going to have a return of the sun, which means the days are going to start to get longer and we're going to get closer to that planting season. So if we look first at that darkness part, right? The part that this is the shortest day of the year and the sun has died, going into the rebirth, we can really symbolically play with that and say that this is really a deep time of reflection for pagans, right? And we see that around the world where people on the 1st of January, of course, start their whole New Year's resolutions, right? They start kind of reflecting on how the last year was and kind of setting their intentions for this year. And that's basically what the winter solstice affords people who celebrate it. It's just a little bit earlier than the rest of the world doing it on January 1st, where we are doing it on the 21st of December this year. Now, for those of you who are really into spirituality and have heard about Earth's vibration being in 3D and moving into 4D and possibly even 5D, then you will know and like what I'm going to say now, which is that the winter solstice this year falls on the 10-year anniversary of this transition. So in December 21st, 2012 was the end of the Mayan calendar. And this was essentially thought to be the day, whether we have an exact day or if it was more kind of the year of transition, if you will, of Earth's vibration out of 3D and into 4D. So, what does that mean in terms of us? We're at the 10-year anniversary of that. And what does that mean? How would you know if you are actually kind of working with 4D energy instead of 3D? So when this shift happened and we moved into more of a 4D or perhaps even a 5D energy vibration, then what people around the world were really noticing is first, we have more and more people that are awakening, right? They're having their spiritual awakenings. People are talking about it more openly, right? These are very subtle nuances and ways that us humans are kind of practicing this vibrational shift, but it is really important. It's hugely important, you could argue, because it marks the shift of belief systems and perceptions of people around the world. And what we will find with that is more and more people are turning to practices like yoga. They are looking to enhance their spiritual abilities, right? Looking to work with their psychic abilities, for example. We also have a kind of rebirth of feminine energy. And you can really see this in these types of groups that we are dubbing red tent groups, right? I am part of a sisterhood. There are many people around the world that are part of different red tent sisterhoods, which are really just kind of emphasizing and celebrating the divine feminine energy so that we have more balance in the world. There are also a lot of people that are having a lot more experiences with lucid dreaming. For example, I already mentioned working with their psychic abilities, but also working with communicating perhaps with their higher self, whether that's through meditation or other types of practices. So these are all different shifts that we've seen. Of course, there have been people around the world that have been into developing these parts of themselves for well, since the dawn of human, right? But we just see in the last 10 years, there has been more of a global awakening with these types of practices and perceptions and belief patterns shifting and having more open communication about these things. And so that just basically means that this year, being the winter solstice on the 21st, marking the 10th anniversary of this transition of Earth into this different frequency of energy and sparking this new awakening type of transition that we've been going through, it just gives us more things to even celebrate this year. Side note, if you're enjoying learning about different holidays and celebrations like the winter solstice, then I've got a wonderful witch membership. Now, this is really set out for baby witches or newcomers to the practice of witchcraft, which is really all about working with energy, finding your alignment within and your connection with nature. And in this membership, I teach you different things like the fundamentals of building an altar and creating sacred space, and also about our different holidays to celebrate as a pagan. And so, if this interests you, I would love to see you over in the membership. How you can join is simply by scanning this QR code here, or you can go into the description and click the link for the Patreon Witch membership. I'll see you there. So that leads us into part two of our video, which is, well, how do you celebrate? So, first and foremost, you notice that it is December 21st. It's always going to fall in around that area, which is very close, obviously, to Christmas Day. So, one of the easiest ways that you can celebrate is by doing something similar to Christmas Day, which is having a feast, right? Having a celebration. You're just shifting your focus on what you're actually celebrating. And I talked about this in my video about Yule, which you can check out right here so I don't end up repeating myself in this video. Now, because the winter solstice is marking the shortest day of the year, and of course, the next day we are going to start to see the sun return and start having longer days. One of the ways that you can celebrate is quite simply by lighting candles around your house, kind of with the intention of warding off the darkness or welcoming in the light, if you will. And on those same note, we have the whole idea of the death and the rebirth of the sun, which I had mentioned before, means that for pagans, we tend to really start to become reflective at this time of year, start looking at the things that worked really well for us earlier in the year and start incorporating and changing what it is that we would like to manifest or intentionally bring into our lives in the following year. Very similar to your New Year's resolutions on the 1st of January. So, this would be a great way of celebrating the winter solstice, would just be to take some time, sit in reflection, think about the different things that have worked really well. Think about maybe some of the things that didn't go all that well in this year, 2022, and think about how you would like to make changes going forward into 2023. Set some intentions. And if you've got a practice that you like to do to set intentions, then beautiful, do that. If you don't, then I would recommend just simply having a journal and writing out your different intentions that you have for 2023. And then, if you look at those intentions, one of a really beautiful practice that you can do is meditate on each intention every day so that you start out with a beautiful meditation practice, but then you actually have a focus to your meditation with that intention. You're allowing your mind to just be at ease while you are thinking about manifesting that intention, what it looks like and feels like for you to have been successful with this. And then you're just seeing what comes. What do you feel like? Are you getting any kind of visions? Are you tapping into any of your own innate psychic abilities, which of course is part of our 4D and even moving into 5D energy? I hope that all of that makes sense and that was really helpful for you. It's been an honor, as always, to make this video for you. If you haven't subscribed already, you can do that by clicking here, or by clicking the link within the description. Bye for now.